only want to hear your voice, hanging on every word. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we want to know you more and more, hanging on every word. When you speak, when you move, when you do what only you can do, changes us, changes what we see and what we seek. When you come in the room, when you tell what only you can do, changes us, changes what we see and what we see. It changes everything. Oh my, just one word, one touch changes everything. Oh my, we just need one word to change out our story, our story. We just need one touch, and everything will never be the same. Yeah, yeah. We just need one word. We just need one word. It'll change everything. We just need one word. We just need one word. One word can destroy generations of damage. One word can destroy generations of curses. One word, one word, one word, one word. You sent your word, and we were healed, we were saved, we were free. So send your word, send your word. Oh, oh, oh. We need one word. We need one word. Your word will not return to you void. We need one word. It will accomplish what you said it'd do. One word. What kind of God is this that it takes one word? What kind of man is this? It takes one word. Everything changes with one word. Everything changes with one word.
Praise the Lord, Life of Faith Nation. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to continue to rejoice, and most certainly we will be glad in it. Listen, do me a favor. I want you to tag everybody that you can. I want you to share this as many times as you possibly can. Tonight is going to be a night, I'm talking about, of great information. that you and your family desperately need to receive on tonight. Tonight is going to be a night of information. Tonight is going to be a night of great impartation. And I do believe that God is going to reveal some great things to you on tonight. And so, to my Life of Faith family, God bless you. I'm so glad to see you all tonight. You all are an amazing group of people. And I believe that you all are the greatest in the whole entire universe. And so you want to get lottie-dottie in everybody in here tonight, because tonight is going to be a great night of information. Then number two, I do want to say hello to all of our visitors and our guests tonight. We thank God for you. We honor you. And we're so glad that you are here. And to everybody, we just want to say thank you for choosing Life of Faith tonight, to be a safe space for you and allowing us to be a place where you could come and be rejuvenated, recharged, replenished, and all that other extra good stuff. We know that there is literally a million churches that you can go to every Sunday morning or either on Wednesday night. But for whatever reason, God keeps bringing you back to this digital space. And so we're so excited to serve you in all that we do. Y'all say hello, say what's up, say how you doing. On Sunday, listen, y'all, we had an amazing time on Sunday. My friend, my covenant brother, that Dr. Joseph Manaway came to Life of Faith, and he blessed us immensely. And I'm telling you, I'm still full, and I'm still digesting that word. I'm talking about, it was a rhema word. It was a word directly from heaven. You'll understand the more you grow in God. You'll completely understand the difference between sermons and a word from the Lord. that was a word from the Lord, and he packaged it well, and it blessed me immensely. Everybody, it blessed me immensely. And so we thank God for Pastor Joseph Manaway. Listen, on this Sunday, I need everybody to tap in on this Sunday. My other covenant brother, Dr. Matthew Nesbitt, will be with us on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. This man of God has been under consecration. He's been speaking every single Sunday here locally and even nationally. God has taken him across these here United States this whole entire month. And so I know when he comes to Life of Faith, listen, he's going to have a word from the Lord. And Sunday is special for so many different reasons. On this Sunday, it will be Palm Sunday. It is the time where our Savior came into that great city. He's getting ready to start his journey to Calvary, through the Via Dolorosa, Golgotha's Hill. And I'm telling you, next week, ladies and gentlemen, is a very important week to the body of Christ. If you confess, amen, to be a Christian or to be a believer, next week is a very, very important week to all Christians, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very important week. Some call it Holy Week, some call it Passion Week, but it is a very listen, y'all, I gotta pause, man. My granddaddy on here, Lord have mercy. I gotta put him up here. I'm sorry, y'all look at George McCarty. I'm for sure his grandson. That is my mom's father. Man, what's up with you, granddad? All the way out there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And so we thank God for you, Pops. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. And so that's my granddad. Lord, he shocked me on the night. And so it's so good to know what God is doing at the Life of Faith Church. And listen to me, next week, starting on Monday, we will be going through a day-to-day walk with Jesus. I'm literally going to walk you through the steps that Jesus Christ took, what he did every single day leading up to Calvary. I'm telling you, it's going to be very informative, very educational, and I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot. I started this teaching last year. I did Monday, I did Tuesday, and because of thanks, Pops. God transitioned and called my father home on that Wednesday, and so I wasn't able to finish the teaching. But we most definitely, by the grace of God, we're planning on finishing that this next week. And so we need everybody to be a part. Invite your friends right here every single night, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. And then on Friday night, we will have our Good Friday service in the sanctuary. You'll be able to view us, whether it's on our website, lofnation.org, or you can view us on our right here on Facebook and our YouTube. We got a very special guest that's going to come and preach. We'll probably show you the flyer after this broadcast tonight. And so those are just a few of our announcements that we want you to adhere to. Make sure that you all adjust accordingly, because we want you to be a part of that. And then yours truly, I'll be back in the pulpit on Resurrection Day. I do want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, as we transition into the month of March. This month was our March Madness. This month was also not just our March Madness, but it was a time for us to level up spiritually, physically, mentally, financially. We started our 21-day financial fast, and I'm telling you, some of the testimonies that I have received as a result of the 21-day fast have been mind-boggling. People have purchased homes, all types of things have been happening that you all probably are not aware of. And so we're going to create a time, and we're going to create a space to where we'll be able to share those awesome testimonies that have been very beneficial, not just to the person that is testifying, but it'll be beneficial to you, as it will most certainly increase your faith. Also, outside of that, with the whole leveling up, it's looking at the demographic of our church and looking at the culture of our church. Life of Faith, as of right now, I think we have one or two people that actually own a home. And as a pastor, that is very important to me, that we are educated in regards to home ownership. What are the pros? What are the cons? How do you actually put yourself in a position to purchase or to buy a home? You know, what are the creditors looking for? What are the loan officers looking for? What do real estate agents look for? And you got to know your debt to the income ratio and all that other good stuff. And so we had a few weeks ago, we had an MBA, we had a financial advisor come and speak to us in regards to our finances. Then I taught a few weeks. And tonight, I have a real estate agent who's here with us tonight, who is very well versed. Not only is he a real estate agent, but he is a council member of the great city of Carson. It is the second best city in the world. It's second to Long Beach, California. And so after Long Beach, then it probably, I think most believe it's probably the city of Carson. And so he is a council member. He is a bishop in the Lord's church. He is the pastor and the founder of the City on the Hill Church in the great city of Carson, California. He is affectionately, I call him my uncle. He is a man of God. He is a man that is well versed. And he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's an entrepreneur. I mean, businessman, business savvy man. Everybody knows him. And I want to introduce him to you all tonight. He's going to educate us in regards to home ownership. So hear me. After you get through reading your Bible, you got to go back and read these numbers. Okay, hear me. After you listen to me. I know that the preacher told you turn around 3 times and you was go get a house, and all you did was just get dizzy. It still ain't no house. I know the preacher told you give $50 and then the Lord was just go give you the house. And I know that they told you God is going to give you stuff you don't deserve, or that your credit don't. And I do believe in the sovereignty of God and in the providence of God. Those things are possible. You know, all things are possible to them that believe. But however, God gives us wisdom. Hear me. I said God gives us wisdom. Okay, God gives us wisdom. And the Bible, and not just wisdom, but if you operate in principle, you don't need a miracle. And so many times we stood in line. You know, if you give this $200 seed and 76 cents, I promise you go have a real estate agent that's going to give you the house in about 2 days. You've been sitting there by the phone, and this has messed up a lot of people. You know, here it's messed up. Now hear me. Don't get me wrong. I know that God can do it. I know that he can bless you in the moment and in the twinkling of an eye. But hear me, some stuff you don't even need God to be involved in if you operate in principle. That'll preach all by itself. I said some things you don't need God to even be involved in if you just operate in principle. If you constantly need God's involvement, then that suggests that there is a lack of responsibility somewhere. I'm already teaching tonight. I can't hear nobody. I said, if you always need God, then what that suggests is that there may be a lack of responsibility somewhere. We thank God for God, but you don't need to involve him in stuff that he made you to be responsible. In scriptures like when we say, oh Lord, touch my mind, the Lord is not going to touch your mind. That's why your mind's still hurting. It's all over the place. Why? The Bible says you cast down every strong imagination that exalts himself on the perfect plan. You Lord, touch my mind. He still ain't touched it. You know, stop asking God to do things that he told you to do. Amen. And so that's just me. I know how to preach it, you know, and teach a little bit, but Bishop Hilton knows how to preach, and he know how to give you those penal codes and all that real estate type of stuff that I'm not educated in. And so he's going to help us out in that area. Yeah, somebody said, oh, Lord, my mind. Yeah, you ever, Lord, touch my mind. You know, listen, you cast down. You do it. You know, stop throwing your responsibility back on God. I tell us all the time, human responsibility partners with the sovereignty of God. He said, Lazarus, I'm going to raise you from the dead, but I need y'all, human responsibility, y'all remove the stone. Blind Bartimaeus, I'm going to heal your eyes. That's the sovereignty of God. But I need you to go wash your face in the pool of Siloam. That's the human responsibility. Real quick, somebody put in the chat, somebody just say, you got to be responsible. You got to be responsible. Stop putting God in stuff that he probably has absolutely no business being involved in if you just be responsible. And so I think it's like 3% of African Americans actually own a home. I may be wrong, but I know I'm not far off from that. Bishop Hilton is going to give us some great stuff tonight. He's here now. Life of Faith. Y'all help me welcome to Life of Faith Church for the first time, and it definitely won't be the last. I haven't invited him to preach yet because I want you all to love me first. He already has a church, and I don't want you all to fall in love. You know, let me get my feet wet before I invite him over, and then he'll preach y'all happy. We got to marry the people first. And so y'all say hello to Bishop Jawan Hilton, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You are loved. Man, everybody loves you, man. You are one of God's chosen ones, man. And I've always told you that. I tell you privately all the time, and I tell you publicly now, man, you're different. And, you know, God got you covered, man. I've been back here since 6:55, but I didn't see my camera, so you probably didn't see me or whatnot. But I'm honored to be here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to share how important it is for home ownership, especially in the African American community. This is the vehicle to build wealth, housing and real estate. The market, if you get in it now, I'm telling you, it will do better than stocks and bonds. Most people retire. Home ownership is the vehicle to wealth, particularly for people of color. So I'm here tonight just to tell you about home ownership and to see how we can get you on the path to home ownership.
Okay.
FHA requires a 580 credit score.
No.
Yes.
I thought it was 6. What?
Yeah, they lowered the credit score limits, and you know, they tried to do 620, but it's not much between 620 and 580. There are some programs that will take you at 580, but as you said, with the debt to income ratio, there's certain programs that will take you at 580. You can't go into a Wells Fargo or a B of A and get one, but there are programs like NACA, there are different Vault Mortgage, there are different mortgage brokers that can actually help you shop that deal.
Y'all make sure that y'all write that down, 580. And listen, don't go to your real estate agent after tonight. This is your real estate agent right
Yeah,
here,
I
Bishop
would love it. And
Jawanius.
I'll seed back to the church too, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
somebody said, what? I'm good. Show enough then. Listen, you good. You good. You good. But y'all gotta come see. Y'all gotta come see Bishop Hilton, because he knows those lenders and he knows those foundations and those businesses that will accept or even consider those 580 credit scores. Bishop, so when it comes to the home ownership, you said it is the vehicle to wealth. Explain that.
when you think about home ownership pricings, a year ago in Los Angeles County alone, the inventory was a bit high, and housing wasn't at an all-time high. Say, for instance, I sold a home last year, March this time, pre-pandemic. I sold it for $485,000.
Yes.
That house was $485 March of last year is now worth $6 in this year, because the market is increasing and moving. Most of the time, people think that it's going to be a perfect time to get in real estate. There may never be a perfect time. It may never. I don't believe the market is going to crash like everybody is saying, because they have programs that are aligned to help people keep their houses in COVID. But most people are working at home. So home has become a great commodity. Nobody's going out anymore. Everybody's doing things at home. We're even doing ministry at home. So home actually now has more value. So the housing market is going up. Think about it, if you will, that if you invest in real estate this year and it appreciates by 50,000, it appreciates by 100,000, you make more in your house, something that you live in. Now, first of all, if you're renting, you're already paying somebody's house note anyway. It's just not yours. Anyway, you're already paying somebody's house note anyway. It's just not yours, right? Wow. So at the end of the day, you're building and giving them wealth, because they can turn around and use the money that they have in equity, pull it out, pay some bills, borrow the money at 3%, 3 to 4, 5%, wherever the percentage rate is at that time, less than a credit card. Now, you can take money out your house that will be less than that credit card that you're charging around, that Credit One Bank credit card that they didn't give you at 27%. If you take the money out your house, it'll be 3 to 4%. So that's your vehicle to get wealth. It's called equity.
Wow. And Bishop, that's good. And so I know we have a lot of inquiring minds. I know that at the Life of Faith Church, we have a lot of people who are really considering purchasing a home. But I want to ask you, what's actually needed in order to purchase a home? We've heard things like they're going to look at your bank statements for 2 to 3 years. They're going to look at your tax returns, or you have to have a certain amount sitting in your savings or your checking. What is all of that type of stuff? Is that just for first-time homeowners, or how does that stuff work?
So there will be a pre-qualification process. Every lender requires something to do you to do something different. You should have 2 years of taxes. However, if you don't have 2 years of taxes, there may be around that. There's a stated income, but the interest rate will be a little bit higher. When you talk about that, you want to make sure that all of your stuff is lined up. And the truth be told, you may not have all the money to put a down payment down, but your family or your friends may be willing to help you. They can write up a gift letter. That's where you're going to get the funds from. When I bought my first house, I did not have the money. I had a little faith. But I believed by the end of the deal, I would have the money. So you have to have something called an earnest money deposit. That's to open up escrow. And the earnest money deposit, EMD, earnest money deposit. You open up escrow with that. That's kind of like a good faith to allow someone to say, you'll get in contract with me. I'll let you buy my house. I'm going to put 3% down of the amount if you allow me to get this house. 3% down is the ultimate. So you put a percentage of that 3% down. Most homes require 3 to 5% to close. FHA. FHA loan limits in LA County. You can get an FHA loan in LA County for $822,365. That's the loan limit, right?
Wow.
San Bernardino County, because the houses are a little lower, is $548,250. Ventura County, $739,450. Orange County, $822,365.
That's my city. That's my county. Now.
That's your county. Okay.
Orange County. Yes, sir.
Go buy you one of them spots in La Palma somewhere. And
Yes,
San
sir.
Diego County is $753,250. So FHA is approving based on the area. So we know if you try to buy in Southern California, in LA proper, if you will, South Bay area, you're going to need a high loan. Opposed to if you're buying in San Bernardino, you don't need such a high loan, and FHA is willing to lend you up to that. And you have to come in with 3 to 5% of that based on your credit and based on your debt to income ratio.
Bishop, I done listen, you teaching us on tonight. I've already learned that the 580 credit score, and then the market is increasing and moving. So you're saying, Bishop, that there's most people are saying if you want a house, buy now. You're suggesting that no matter what time it is, you just never know if it's going to be good or bad.
You never know. And if it's your house, you're buying it and you're holding it, right?
Right.
I remember when my mom bought her first house when I was growing up, and when my family members bought the house when they were growing up. Houses was about $200,000 then, right? But the interest rates were at like 10 and 11%.
Yeah.
So interest rate. So even though the house was only $200,000, the house note was still $3,000, $4,000 because of the interest rates.
Wow.
So now we have the ability to buy more house with less interest rates. And now is even a perfect time because we don't know. I don't believe, my personal belief, don't quote me on it, but I don't believe the market is going to fall out like it did in 2008 because they were doing all of these amortization loans, pick a pay loan, giving anybody a loan, no job or anything like that. I know that we're going through the middle of a global pandemic, but the difference between now and then, they have put safeguards in place so the economy won't fall.
Wow.
So I think if you have the opportunity to buy now, you can go through programs like NACA. NACA is a program where they teach you how to be financially stable before they loan you money. They make you go through classes, and they're loaning at an interest rate of 2%.
Wow.
And they allow you to buy multifamily properties. So say that you want to buy a fourplex, you want to stay in one. You can rent the other 3 out and let those other 3 people pay your house note.
Wow.
So
through the
there's a number of ways to access home ownership.
And so Bishop, wow, that's incredible. And so let me ask you this. You've been in real estate for a while now. And we know the Lord has been blessing you because I saw the Gucci's you had on at Greater Zion. He's been blessing you, man of God. Let me ask you this, Bishop.
I put them on layaway.
How many? The predominant race that you sell houses to is probably what race?
Well, I will sell to anybody, but predominantly what I've been closing is my people, African Americans, because I want them to have home ownership. My clientele is vast, but my goal is to make sure that my people get a seat at the table. I told you it creates wealth. And if we are going to build wealth, and even for somebody who say, man, I didn't go to college, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Why don't you tap into real estate? It's a vehicle to create wealth as well. Think about every deal. Think about the minimum. If you're closing one deal a month at $10,000 minimum, if you're closing one deal a month as an agent, think about that. if you don't have to have a college degree to be a real estate agent. You just have to apply yourself for, here and there. But I would even tell you to look after not only being a part of home ownership, but look after maybe getting you a real estate license. Think about if you did a couple deals a year. People do that and make good money off of it.
Bishop, so how much is real estate school?
I mean, you can go to a real estate school for about $500. Wow. worth the greatest investment. The first time I did that, I went to real estate school, paid the $500. I went to a crash course, paid $200 for the weekend crash course, went and passed my test. My first deal, I made $10,000. Tell me that wasn't worth the investment.
Yeah, that pretty much, you don't got that over 100 times over.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're always good to have. You may not use them every day, but your circle of influence, you say, hey, I'm selling real estate now. I mean, if you could sell all this other stuff, y'all could sell real estate. Yeah.
And that's, wow, Bishop, that's honorable, man. What do you say to the people? So me, I have a problem. And I know I speak on behalf of a lot of people that probably won't admit. I like a certain way of living, which in some cases, that's why a lot of African Americans that I've come in contact with haven't pursued home ownership, because they want the house opposed to the starter house, the starter home to get you to where you need to go. What do you say to those people that's like, I'm going to just wait because I want the 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, pool? Do you suggest that just get you the starter home, just get in there, get some property? What do you suggest about that?
I mean, I'm a firm believer you can get what you want, right? So,
yes,
I'm a firm believer.
Somebody said right.
If you want to live where you want to live, do that. I believe by faith, God can give you that. However, if you have to get that starter house, use that starter house, stay there for a year, be a good steward, leverage it, leverage that property, that equity. I just told you someone built $100,000 in 1 year. He can leverage.
Bishop, hold on, Bishop.
Okay.
What is that? Explain the term leverage it.
Leverage it. So the gentleman bought the house for $485,000. The house is worth now $600,000. Easy. And we haven't tested the market, but that was a year. How many of us save $100,000 in 1 year?
Wow.
Just think about it, if you will. If that's in there, you can turn around. If you're a good steward, and you got to be a good steward because they're going to be looking at your credit. Good steward means having good credit. Good steward means even if you want those Gucci's, you got to either pay for them or pay the card off when you use it. Right? Don't just pay the minimum payment. Make sure your debt to income ratio is below the 35% mark. You can't have all these high credit cards. You can't be credit rich, right? Ugh. You can't charge everything. Jesus. If you charge it, pay for it. You're gonna have to have, as you're trying to buy a house, you're gonna have to have the cash and carry mentality, right? If I can't pay for it in cash, I can't get it. Or if I'm going to use my credit card, I got to pay it right off. And we advise you that when you are in the process of buying a home, not to charge up any credit cards. Don't buy anything. If you can't pay for it in cash, don't buy it. Because underwriters are looking to see if you're a good steward and if they can trust you with a $500,000 loan, if they can trust you with an $800,000 loan. So when I say leverage it, think about it. If you bought the starter home this year and that starter home increased $100,000, he said, Josh James, I can't hear and that starter home increased by $100,000, you could turn around and either A, sell that home, your starter home, and make that purchase for your dream home, that 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, with the panoramic view, whatever it is that you want, you can leverage that contingent based on your next purchase. And now guess what? You have $100,000 to put down on the house because this one just made you $100,000. So
Wow.
if we put ourselves in that position, but we can't put ourselves in position if we never buy.
If we never buy. This is a question right here, Bishop. That was good. How does student loans impact our ability to purchase a home, if any?
Robin, first of all, I hate student loans, right? I have them. So, but what it does is there are ways that lenders can, you would have to go into repayment, like a repayment process, only for the time to get the approval. And then you can go back into your income-based repayment plan. You would have to take your student loans out of the IBR, that's the income-based repayment plan, if you have that. And then put them into an actual payment, make 1 or 2 payments, and then certain lenders will help you navigate that process, because to have student loans is a challenge sometimes to get a governmentally backed loan.
Wow. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, this conversation is very imperative. When my father passed away, a lot of the stuff that he did kind of fell. My father was always watching CNN. And one of the things I've discovered watching CNN, how the Caucasian community, especially the real estate agents within the Caucasian community, were on purpose denying African Americans homes, especially in certain communities. Okay. And this is why it is very important to make sure that you can try your best. Not all, but the majority. This is why it's important that you connect with a Bishop Juwan Hilton, to make sure that everything is going right, that everything is going smooth, because Bishop Hilton, it is a business. He will receive some type of reward, but it's not going to be at the expense of putting you in something that you cannot handle. And so you're in safe hands, like Allstate, with Bishop Juwan Hilton, ladies and gentlemen. And so I it's another thing. You gonna say something to that, Bishop?
Yeah, I want to say, my job as your agent is to protect my client. Right now, the real estate market is so hot. I had a client, and this is a true story. She may be watching tonight. I had a client who put in a bid for a home. Our bid was accepted. This real estate agent came back and said, listen, I want you to release the appraisal contingency. I want you to release that. And that's going around right now. But something told me, hey, I got to protect my client. I can't release the appraisal contingency. And when that thing came back, that thing appraised for $90,000 less than what we had offered.
Wow.
Had I just let my client move on emotion, or had I just wanted to make the deal, I would have removed that appraisal contingency, and she would have had to come up with $90,000 that she had it, that she didn't have to spend. So we fought back on that. And every real estate agent should be there as a buffer to protect you. And I know that home buying is emotional, and you may love it as soon as you smell the new hardwood floors and this and that. But if it's something wrong with the deal, an integral real estate agent will say, listen, let's walk away from this. I know that you wanted it to be your house. I know that all of these things happen, but I'm trying to protect you so that 2-3 years down the road, you won't be saying, I paid too much for this house, or I can't pay for this house, and now somebody's coming to get your house.
Wow. And might I add to that, I got a friend, he's coming to preach for us on Sunday. The market is so high right now. You'll look at one house and 70 people have put in bids on that house. You know,
absolutely.
If you're not ready, make sure you have your paperwork together and all that stuff together, as much as you possibly can, because the competition, for lack of a better term, Bishop, is at an all-time high, would you say?
It's at an all-time high. And listen, I won't take you joyriding, right? So I'm not taking you to look at any houses until you get pre-approved, until we know exactly what you can get, because it's like that now. If 70 people was after a house, why would I take you? You be the 71st person, and you say, oh man, I need to get my paperwork together. Look, we're going to miss this house. So we got to be together before we walk in the door. We got to be together before we go look. So I always refer my clients like, hey, thank you for allowing me to serve you. I need you to get pre-qualified, and I get you pre-qualified, and then we start looking. But there's no looking without pre-qualification.
You need to get that and where's the pre-qualification, Bishop? Do that normally goes through their bank, your loan
They
officers,
can go
people
through
you know?
they can go through their bank. They can go through loan officers that I know. I know a number of loan officers. They can go through NACA. They can go through a whole lot of places. I can direct them where to go, hold their hand, make sure they go through the process, make sure they get with someone who's integral, and we can do all of that. But we need to get that first before we start moving.
Listen, I'm excited because I believe, and hopefully Life of Faith is excited, just as excited as I am, because I believe one of us go by, at one of us, two of us, three of us, somebody is going to get a house, because I believe, especially in the culture of church, all you need is that one person to crack that barrier, and then it's a domino effect. It's over.
So, Pastor, that means, Pastor, that means, all right, you already know what that means, right?
Yes, sir.
That means that everybody at Life of Faith, we got to make sure our pastor and first lady get their house, because if the head is blessed, the house is blessed. You know, that's why we got to, our next, I know he got his installation service coming, maybe for his installation gift, we can get 10 or 15 people together to get his down payment for his house, so he could just walk into it, or, because you want your pastor to be comfortable. You want your pastor living good. You want your pastor riding good, because if he lives better, if he rides better, he doesn't have to think about all those things. He'll preach much better if he didn't have to worry about where he was going to go home and lay his head. Sorry, man. I apologize. I know I'm supposed to be the real estate agent tonight, but
you're the bishop, though.
I'm the bishop too.
Go ahead, Bishop. Go ahead, Bishop.
So look out for him, y'all, and make it a joint venture. I remember when I got my house, my church celebrated, man. I mean, they celebrated when I got my house. And because they knew if their pastor was blessed, they would be blessed. So I say it to you, Life of Faith, tonight, lean in, y'all know, set up something for your pastor. Make sure he got everything he needs, him and First Lady.
Bishop, we appreciate you, man. I really, really do. And I also want to, because we're on this whole thing of stewardship, and we did the 21 days financial fast. And I've noticed that a lot of us are we're driving our house. We're wearing our house, are we talking on our house? Has stewardship, because I don't believe that the Black community at large is just completely in poverty, but it's just more so of an extreme lack of stewardship. We'll go get the S550. I remember my dad was here, and I was at the lot. It was a gray S550. I'm in the car. I FaceTime my dad like, Dad, I'm finna get this down. Pops, I'm finna get this S550, Reverend. And he said, son, don't get that S550, man. I said, why, Pops? He said, man, you don't want to be driving your house. What do you say to those of us that just want to look good? We want to look good. We want to drive good. We want to dress good. And it's literally preventing us from getting at home, because all of our money has been allocated to those materialistic things. How do we focus on just getting a house? How do we do that?
The Prophet E40 said, don't buy $80,000 car before you buy a house. Right. I think, and all of us have been guilty of that.
For sure.
Because we've been taught in our community that the definition of success is 4 wheels. Wow. And the definition of success in our community should be home ownership. But it's up to us to teach stewardship, up to pastors to teach stewardship. Man, when I was in college, I went through so many cars. I had to have the nicest things. I wanted to dress like this. I wanted to do all of this. While I was looking good, I could have been, all that money I spent on cars, clothes. They say that we have the issue of the 3 C's: cars, clothes, and cosmetics. We got to look good. We're going to have our clothes. We're going to have our cars. all that stuff is for naught because cars depreciate.
Yes.
All this stuff depreciate. Clothes fade away. They come with a new trend, a new fad. All this stuff means nothing. But if we can tap into home ownership, take what you have now that you're spending, tap into home ownership, get you a few things that are nice. You could have a few nice things. I'm not telling you not to have nice things, but make sure you invest in something that's not going to depreciate but appreciate. And that's what real estate does. It doesn't depreciate, it appreciates.
Bishop, so help us out, Bishop. But that's good because a lot of people is under the assumption that the real estate agent could change the price of the house. Like, Bishop, hook me up, Bishop. Come on, man. Take 15, 20,000 off the house, Doc. Come on. Does the real estate agent have anything with the pricing of the houses?
Well, no, not the one that's possibly representing you if the house is on sale. What you can do is you can get a home inspection and you can negotiate if there's something wrong with the home. But most of the homes are sold as is. But there are some people who may say, listen, I will give you this credit to fix this if you don't like this. But that's all with the negotiations of the real estate agent. But we don't set the price if we're not the listing agent. And the market determines the price, not us per se. You can't go into a market, a hot market, a blazing market and say, I want to pay $200,000 for this house when everybody else around you is selling homes for $500,000. Yeah. So you have to be willing. But there's also one of the signs to people who may be in distress and losing their homes. When you ride around neighborhoods and grass and you're riding in a well-kept neighborhood and grass is up here, it looks like it's a bunch of deferred maintenance on houses. Sometimes people are losing those houses that look like they're run down. So if you're looking to possibly purchase something from someone who no longer wants to be in their house anymore, I would venture to say if you're bold enough, get out your car, leave a note and say, hey, I like this house, but you got to have your paper in place again. Look, I like this house. If there's something wrong with it, there's a number of sites that tell you whose homes are in foreclosure. You can also look those up and see and begin to write letters to these people and ask them, hey, are you willing to sell your house? Are you willing, if I come up with so much money to help me, for me to help catch up on payments? And then you may not pay full price for a house.
That's rich right there, Bishop. That's great information. Let me ask y'all this. Is there anybody on here tonight that is seriously considering real estate school? That's one question. Anybody on here tonight that is seriously considering real estate school? Then number two, do you have any further questions for Bishop Hilton, our agent Hilton tonight? While he's on here, while he's on here, I just want to see very quickly. I know that there's a delay on the StreamYard. If anybody is seriously considering real estate school, let us know. And if you have any further questions, and while they're doing that, Bishop, what is the best way for them to contact you in regards to starting that process of becoming a homeowner?
So everybody, you can email me at info at JawanHilton.com. Info at JawanHilton.com.
We're putting it on the screen. Somebody just asked, can we have? Okay. Okay, it's on the screen. You can contact Agent Hilton, info at JawanHilton.com. Okay. Somebody asked Bishop, why is California housing market higher compared to other states?
When you think about California has everything. We have all the amenities. We got beaches. We got fun in the sun. California is just the way it is. I mean, I was talking about somebody that I was saying that about somebody the other day. They said, oh man, I bought this 300,000 square foot building for my church. Man, paid like $1.4 million with that. I'm like, miss me with that. Come to California and try to do that. Miss me with that. California, it's just the way it is. California is, it's a high cost of living. Hence why the job market is different. So if you went to Texas overwhelmingly, the market will be low. Atlanta, the market is low. Atlanta's coming up. But the jobs, they don't pay. The minimum wage is certainly different from here in California. So the cost of living is different. It's based on what the jobs market is around where you are.
Bishop, can multiple family members purchase one house together? Can we put a bunch of people on a deed or on the loan? And
Yeah, you can do that. I would venture to say that a couple of people can get it, and you can all say y'all gonna stay there. Absolutely. Other cultures do it. Other races do it. They stay in the house. They put everybody's name on the house, and then they they leverage what they have. Then they move that person out. Then they move that person out. And then it becomes their house.
Wow, that's good. Listen, people of God, you all need to connect with Bishop Hilton immediately, and get in this market. And you do your part. God is going to do his part, and Bishop Hilton is most certainly going to do his. You need to connect immediately. I did just want to give you guys the surface level. I will be talking to Bishop Hilton, and he'll be connected with some of his other business partners to see if we can kind of get like a workshop or something going.
We would love that.
Yeah, and get a workshop for everybody that's serious, because again, I just want to make sure that you all are informed, that you all have the information for those of us that want to head in that direction in regards to becoming a homeowner. My little sister said, how much money do the bank want to typically see in your account, Bishop?
So that's why I was saying, typically they want to see your down payment, but the truth be told, sometimes us as African Americans, we may not have it. However, you may have a family member that has it. You may have a family member that's willing to write you a letter saying that they're going to give you a gift. So as long as you're able to show, most banks and underwriters would like to know where you're going to get the money from. If you can, they want the money seasoned. So when we say seasoned, we don't want you to just have got it out of a pillowcase and then put it in the bank, right? That's why you got to have a bank account. Show that deposits have been going in and out. So if you have your 3%, or if you don't have your 3%, but you can have somebody that says, hey, when they get ready to close this house, I'm going to give them this, and they can prove it from their bank account, you're good. You're golden.
And that's that's great information, Bishop, in regards to how much you need to have. That's why I tell all people, under the table money is cool, but not when you're trying to purchase a home. If you can, you want to make sure that you have if you're thinking about purchasing a home, you want to try to get as much money to come through that checking account as much as possible. They want to see a cash flow, for consistency. The SBA loans and the PPPs don't count. They want to see that consistent. Right. They want to see that consistent cash flowing through there for years, and periodically, any event that something happens, they know that you can take care of it. Shantae said that they started the process with NACA a while ago, Nate. She said it's a great program. They did have one requirement that you may have to volunteer with them once you purchase a home.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to go? And the volunteering is you going back. It's almost a church principle, if you will. Yeah. That once God has saved you, you should be willing to go back and help somebody else get saved. And tell somebody about the goodness of being able to buy a home with 2% down, being able to buy a home with little or no money out of your pocket. That's all they want you to do, is come back and volunteer. And I believe the volunteer hours are 8 hours. I would give 8 hours to anybody if they help me get a loan at 2% and help me get in a house with little money down. So it is true that you do have to volunteer.
And hopefully everybody, when we get this workshop, hopefully we'll try to get it in person, have it socially distant, even if it's outside, at a park or whatever, or in a big space. But we do want you guys to get this information. I know some of this stuff is not cookie cutter, one and done. Some of us need to sit down and get some stuff. And I know Bishop Hilton, he knows some of everybody. He knows some of everybody that's gonna have an answered for almost practically everything. And so we'll get you a future date very, very soon. But we want to make sure that when we do bring the bishop, I do believe in order. We want to make sure that we honor his time and we honor his business partner's time as well. We not going to just question him to death, but we need some people that are really serious about home ownership. And I believe, Life of Faith, that, listen to me, God will not take us through what we've experienced and leave you there dry. There is a blessing. Hear me. There is a blessing. And I know it's cliche and it's old school, but there's a blessing in the pressing.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. There is a blessing in the pressing. And I do believe that God will not take us through all of that and not bless us in the end. Why? He said, because our present sufferings cannot be compared to the glory that will be revealed. There is a blessing on the way. Vanessa Grundy says she's signing up for the workshop. That's good, Vanessa Grundy, and I'm glad that you're signing up for the workshop. That's awesome, home ownership. But I believe that. I believe that God is going to do something great. And Bishop, listen, man, we really, really appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
We honor you, man. And we know that you could have been anywhere. Let me tell y'all something. This ain't a bishop. This is not a bishop for like a, little any fellowship. This is a bishop with the full gospel fellowship under the great leadership. Amen. Under the great leadership of Bishop Joseph Walker. You understand me? This is a real bishop right through here. And this is a real bishop. And we thank God for Bishop Hilton. I do want to let me get this comment up here very quickly, and then we'll get the bishop. My sister said, "Thank you, Bishop." Everybody saying thank you.
PG.
Thank you, Bishop. Minister Brianne said, "Thank you, Bishop."
Yeah. She got her little product in there.
Yeah,
in her hand. She had a little product in her head.
She got the product. Listen, the people are saying, "Thank you, Bishop."
Thank you. Thank you.
Vanessa, listen, they're saying thank you. Listen, and everybody that's saying thank you, these are the richest people in our church, Bishop. So I know they ready.
No, I already know this. I already know Cammy. She's rich. She's for real. She's really rich. She's from Carson, so she's really rich.
Yeah, she's from Carson. She got that bread. Now, Nisha got it too. She got about 8 Rolex chain per kid. All of the kids got Rolex chains and bracelets. And so, Minister Butts, everybody is saying, and this is Dr. Daniel Brazard. He served as my father's adjutant.
I know him. He from the other 1911 clan. I know him. He from the other 1911 clan. But the Noops is on tonight. The Noops is on tonight. The Noops is on tonight.
Listen, now let me tell you something. Big Daniel, man, he's serious about that house. He go.
Oh, I know.
Sure. He go get it for sure. My little sister, man, this is my sister Adrena. She's out in Vegas. Bishop, can you sell her house in Vegas, or is it limited to California?
So my network is so vast. My company is Hilton and Daughters, and we partner with Keller Williams. Hilton and Daughters is me and my little daughter's company. We opened up. I opened up this company because I want to leave them something other than a church fan. I want to leave them something. So yes, I'm partnered. I can sell houses all around the world. I have a network where I can sell them in all 50 states for sure.
And I do believe that if my sister get a house in Vegas, that was demonic, because she's supposed to be out here with her brother back in California. So we're going to make sure that deal don't go through, sis. You got to come back. You got to come back. Dr. Malone said, look out for his email.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They come straight to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Courtney got money too. The Lord has blessed Courtney Kimbrough with an overwhelming amount of money. That's Pastor Kimbrough's daughter. Son of New Mount Calvary.
Oh yeah, no, Dr. Kimbrough. Don't start, Bishop, please. Hey man, it's 1911 love, man. It's all good, bro. It's all good. It's all good.
1911. And so listen, y'all, we want you all to be a blessing tonight. Life of Faith, y'all already know we are a blessed church because we are a giving church. We want you all to be a blessing tonight. You know what we do every Wednesday night? We do 20 for 20. And Ronette, you're not going to no Texas. We got to work here in California. They talk about, Bishop, you should have told them you got a vast. They talking about Texas. Somebody else want to move to the Holy Land. They talk about, can I get an apartment next to Jesus? You know, it's all type of stuff. Somebody talk about, send me to Egypt then. You know, no, some of y'all got to stay right here. But listen, we want y'all to be a blessing tonight. Once you have given, just put in the comment section, it's done. We appreciate y'all. Listen, Life of Faith, we got our new digital board, our new sound system, and I'm telling you, it's off the chain. I can't wait until you all can come back into the sanctuary. I can't wait until you all hear and see what God has been doing. Everything that I told you, God has provided through you all. And so I appreciate your generosity. We're a blessed church because we're a giving church. Thank you. Everybody is giving. First Lady's on there. Now First Lady, her best friend is Bishop Hilton's little brother, Josh. You know, they've been friends, I think, since elementary school. So my wife been knowing Bishop Hilton. He been knowing her since she was a kid, literally. And so he's been knowing us for a long time. So we appreciate. Thank you all for giving. We appreciate you. I'll be sending my offering on Friday. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you so much. Jasmine, thank you. We appreciate you all. Listen, I want to see you all on Sunday morning here at the Life of Faith Church at 10 a.m. To everybody who is a member of our church or you're connected to the Life of Faith Nation, we will be sending out a link to you very soon through our text messages system for you to register for our service. Okay, and to have all the information. Bishop Hilton, y'all came back in on Sunday. How was that experience, man?
Man, it was phenomenal. We've been back now. This is going on our 4th week. Okay. So we've been back. It's been phenomenal. People have been coming, and there's no pressure on the people who don't want to come back just yet. But there are some people who want to come back. I'm telling everybody, make sure that you take extra precaution. I know we go everywhere else. We should be able to go to the house of the Lord. Yeah. If you haven't had an opportunity to get vaccinated, I don't know where you are, Pastor, on the vaccinations or whatever, but I've been vaccinated. I think it's important for us not to pass it on to everyone. And from experience about COVID. Yeah. I know from experience of COVID, and for Christmas, somebody gave me COVID. Jesus. And I don't think they was in the spirit of giving. They just didn't know. But I'm here to tell about it. So I think it's my job to tell people that you should get vaccinated. But we're gonna have church. We're gonna have it in a socially distant way, and we're gonna make sure everything is well.
Bishop, you know what? I haven't made a public statement to the church. I think they kind of know where I stand with it. But I think since you mentioned it, though, but I am for sure unapologetically pro vaccination. I believe that is it. I think that, oftentimes we've been praying, Lord, for the pandemic, prayed, and God releases the miracle by way of vaccine. And so what I'm telling the church is, if you can consult with your physician and they think that it is safe for you to do so, by all means, please get vaccinated. By all means. And there's a few people from our church that's already vaccinated, and they've been fine. And so y'all see the bishop, he's still selling $1 million houses with both of his shots. And so we good to go.
And so, Pastor, if I could say this for just 30 seconds, I know you will on a time schedule.
The floor is yours, sir. Please.
Just like when you opened up about Black home ownership, taking it back to in communities of color, particularly Black communities, we have people from all these other communities, Palos Verdes, Manhattan Beach. They're coming down to our communities to get our vaccinations because we won't take them.
Jesus.
And they're standing out, waiting in line, standing on the corner, trying to get vaccinations that we won't get. And if all these people are in line getting these vaccinations and we don't get them and we die, it's not their fault. It's our fault because we let them come into our community and take what was meant for us and we let them have it because we didn't want it.
And we have the highest death rate in COVID, but the
Absolutely.
least amount of us
Are vaccinated.
are vaccinated. And so I'm not gonna lie, man. My job called me about 3 weeks ago because I work for the school district, and they said, "Hey, you know, you can get your shot third." I was like, "I'm finna get my shot." And when they called me, like, "You can go tomorrow," I was like, "Hold on, just
Let me
wait."
think about it
But,
real quick.
but the next time they come back around, I'm definitely going to do that the next time that they come around for sure. And so, if there be anything else, Bishop, the floor is yours, man. You can go ahead and dismiss us. You good to go?
Oh man, well, thanks for the opportunity again, Pastor. We appreciate you greatly. Life of Faith, y'all got an awesome pastor. I'm telling you, take care of him. He's sought after. People trying to steal him from y'all, but he knows where home is. But he's an awesome man of God, and you guys have an awesome man of God. So I'm just thankful you allow me to hang out on your platform tonight and ride your coattail tonight. It's an awesome privilege, man. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful. So Bishop, we back in your hands.
Bishop, listen, man, you got at least 15 new clients coming your way, Bishop.
Man, I'm waiting on them. I'm sitting here watching the email. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here seeing who about to email me, you know?
But email the
I'm,
Bishop, y'all. Get that house and at least just start the process. Hear me, people of God. You got to get rid of the spirit of fear. Some of us won't start the process because you're like, I know they go deny me. Just start the process. Know why they go deny you if they go deny you. You know what I mean? Figure out what's going on. You know, start the process. You never know. Launch out into the deep. Y'all launch out into the deep. Remember, they could not catch any fish because they were in shallow water. You got to launch out into the deep and get all that God has for you. And trust me, he sent somebody through the vessel and through the life of Bishop Jawan Hilton that's going to help you get through this process. I'm going to pray for you, but Bishop is going to make sure you get exactly what you need. Amen. And so we love you all. We thank God for you all. We'll see you on Sunday morning. If the Lord says the same, you all be blessed. You have a great evening.
Peace.